Full-time RV living is absolutely amazing.
It's great.
But here's the reality, all trips must come to an end. So in this video, we're gonna share the top 7 reasons why RVers are forced to quit RV life.
And half this list is avoidable, so pay attention. Welcome back to the RV Odd Couple. My name is John.
And I'm Mercedes, and long story short, we found freedom, independence, and adventure RVing this beautiful country full-time for 3 years. But here's the reality, guys. All trips must come to an end.
And we've seen beautiful success stories. Dozens of our friends found the right place and settled down. We've also got quite a few stories of people that were devastated by these 7 things that my wife has come up for. I disagree with half this list because I really do believe they're very, very avoidable. But the last 2 on the list, I agree 100%, and those are the ones that are heartbreaking.
The catastrophic ones. So
Yes.
stay till the end, because you don't want to miss the catastrophic ones. Those can happen to anyone.
Anybody.
But maybe, you guys tell me in the comments if you agree with him that some of these are avoidable. So we're going to talk about them. But as always, guys, please subscribe if you want to hear the truth. If you want a channel that'll lie to you, there's plenty of other ones out there. But we're going to tell you the truth, like it or not. So let's get going. The first reason why people are forced to quit the RV lifestyle is a failure to plan.
Duh! Mercedes put this one on the list. I'm like, duh!
Okay, there's a lot of stuff to plan. Like maybe you got the wrong RV. Maybe you're struggling to find the right travel pace for you. You know, there's so much to learn, and that's why we have so many videos. If you look at our library, we have hundreds of videos on all the different aspects of RVing because there's so much to learn.
There's so many resources on the internet, you guys.
Yeah.
There is absolutely zero reason that you should not have done your homework, done the research, and all the necessary steps to make a good, qualified decision. And remember, if you fail to plan, you're planning to fail. So, duh.
Well, and this leads into another failure to plan, which has to do with the budget. A lot of people fail to plan a budget. And sometimes it's a lack of failing to plan, or sometimes unavoidable things happen like inflation. Maybe your budget would have worked in 2019, but it doesn't work in 2024.
And I get it if you're a teenager or in your 20s, right? You make these type of mistakes, but the truth is 90% of the RVing space is people over 55 years old. How can you go ahead and start an adventure without having a budget in place? You have to budget. You have to budget. And so I don't really feel bad for people that didn't plan or prepare or their trip. And I don't feel very bad for people that didn't have a budget and it ends in devastation. And we've seen this happen firsthand.
Falling on their face.
Falling on their face, sold all their stuff, bought an RV, hit the road full time, and they ran out of money in 3 months.
Well, and to that point too, we have a free budget download. It's our most popular download because we have a lot of free resources in the description. Just downloads, take them. Because I get what you're saying, babe. There's no excuse for not knowing. I guess sometimes you don't even know that you don't even know.
Download our free download below about budgeting, fill it out, and then you're gonna have a really good idea if you can afford to do this or not.
So the next one is the driving stress. Now, believe it or not, I have seen this with my own eyes. Remember, we've RV'd and lived and breathed RVing for years. We know thousands of you. We've met hundreds. Well, no, we've easily met thousands, huh? We've met a boatload of people.
We've had 3,000 people just come through Thunder Canyon alone.
That's a good point. But we know personal friends that have had to cut their RV life short due to the driving stress that after a time, it just takes a toll on you.
And again, I think this is so avoidable, you guys. Yeah, of course you're going to get stressed every now and then when you're carrying a big rig or you're not used to it. But man up. Don't run out and buy a 42-foot rig and then buy a truck when you've been a computer salesman your whole life. You haven't driven a truck. And you buy a monster rig. Yeah, it's beautiful, and they sold you at the dealership, and you just can't wait until the grass is greener on the other side. Get used to it. Take a driving course. Take a lesson. You know, practice. These are so avoidable.
Yeah.
They got Google Maps now. You can plan right ahead and see what every parking lot looks like, where every dead end is like, you know, so that you can make a smart decision and just settle down behind the wheel. Because most of it's in your head.
Yeah, that's
most
true.
of it's right here in your head. So just suck it up and you'll get used to it.
Suck it up, buttercup. All right, let's go on to the next one. It's just tired in general. And So what people don't realize about full-time RV living is chances are you'll be doing your laundry in the laundromat or getting groceries. That's another whole day event when you're full-time RVing. If you know, put it in the comments. I'm not making this up. It's just the mundane becomes really difficult in the RV lifestyle. People just get tired of it.
I disagree with you. I do think there is a
Mr. not doing laundry and not getting groceries.
There's a natural course of the RV lifestyle. Most people, they do it for 3 or 4 years full time.
That's a good point.
And then you do wear out a little bit, right?
Yeah.
You start getting a little bit older. You've seen everything that you wanted to see.
Yeah.
And it's time to go and settle down.
It's a chapter, not the entire book.
Exactly. So for me, I don't think that's a loss. I think you've gotten out there, you've got that experience, and there's nothing like experiencing the full-time RV lifestyle and relying on each other with your partner. There's nothing like it.
Shoulder to shoulder.
Shoulder to shoulder. We got close to God. It was an amazing thing. It actually saved our marriage.
Yep.
But it did come to a time where
it had a cost.
Well, you know.
No, well, it goes, you know what it is though? And this actually ties to the next one. The next reason why people are forced to quit RVing, and I would call this a success story.
This is a win.
This is the win, is that they find home or home finds them.
Yes, we actually RV'd for about 3 or 4 months with Amy and Jason. We had a blast. We saw Arizona, we saw Utah, we saw Vegas. We had a blast. We both had Jeeps.
And we had Jeeps.
We had so much fun. But sometimes you find home or home finds you. When Jason and Amy fell in love with a portion of the country, they just, you know, they had done it for 3 years. They had seen everything that they wanted to see.
And we saw them fall in love with that area. We were with them when it happened.
We were with them when it happened. And now he went and built a gorgeous house. But that is a success story, guys.
That's a win.
And that's kind of what we were doing when we set out. We had no plan on stopping. We just prayed for guidance, direction, and protection. And Thunder Canyon ended up finding us.
Who knew Alabama? Like, the fact that we call home Alabama is just wild to me, but it's not wild.
Sweet home Alabama. If you haven't visited, come on out and check it out. Nothing like it.
So the next 2 reasons, guys, these are the terrifying reasons. This is why I told you to stay till the end, because unfortunately, they're both A, catastrophic, B,
these are the only 2 things that Mercedes put on this list that I completely agree with.
They could happen to anyone, no matter how good you plan, no matter how good you budget, no matter how good you drive. The next one is a health failure that you can't plan for, and you don't necessarily know that it's going to happen.
You just don't know.
And what's crazy about this story in particular, they had just retired 3 months into her retirement. Then he got a heart attack and they couldn't continue the lifestyle. He could not drive, and he
had to stop.
He had to. And so I don't think there's anything they could have done, but it breaks your heart because at any given time, your health could fail. You never know.
But watching them go through
at the time, it was brutal.
Oh, it was brutal. It's horrible. And we know dozens of couples this has happened to.
The health piece is a big one. Cancer, stroke.
And remember, the most important part of this one is have a plan B.
Yeah.
Always have
What's
a plan
your
B.
exit strategy?
Yeah, if you're in your 60s or 70s, you're going to go out and hit the road, sell all your stuff. What's your plan B? What if something goes wrong with you or your partner's health?
Yeah.
You know,
what would you really do?
What would you really do?
And don't fiddle fart around with that one.
Right. You know, just have a good plan and put it in God's hands.
So the next piece actually is kind of in line with this. It's also catastrophic. This is a RV failure. So especially now with these RVs being built out of poor materials and hastily put together, things aren't meant to last like they used to be.
I believe that most of this is avoidable, you guys. Yes, it's harder now because the RV industry is putting out a lot of junk. But you can still hire an inspector to come in and check out that rig, which I would highly suggest anybody do. Right? It's $400 or $500. Get a professional come out and take a look at it. Because one of the second things we see that breaks your heart is people save their whole lives, right? To RV. They retire. They're 65, 68 years old. They buy the dream RV. They have a plan all the way around the country. And as soon as they get out on the road, the RV starts to just fall apart.
Either they fall apart or the RV falls apart.
We knew one couple sold all their stuff.
They were young.
They hit the road. They loved it. 2 months in, they had a catastrophic problem with the RV with a frame break.
The frame of the fifth wheel, and this was not one that was fixable.
It was not fixable, and they didn't have the money to fix it. Again, we stay in touch with them as well. They're saving up to get another RV so that they continue the lifestyle that they love. Whether you like it or not, the trip comes to an end here on Earth, and you can't plan for everything. But be diligent and try to plan for as much as you possibly can. Be vigilant of all the things that possibly could happen.
And that's why we tell you guys bad news and get a lot of heat for it.
We get a lot of heat for it
real.
because we do these type of videos, but we tell the whole story. Do we love the RV lifestyle?
Yeah.
It has been the greatest blessing of our lives. We love it. We love owning a campground. We love being surrounded by RVers, 95%
Really good people.
salt of the earth, beautiful people. And we're blessed to be able to do this. But we also have heard about a lot of nightmares, whether it's
Horror
emails or
stories.
people calling us or RV Odds Squad members
That we've
sharing this
seen,
story.
yeah.
We've seen, and it's heartbreaking when that kind of stuff happens. And if you do one of the first four, it's your own fault. Take some accountability. If you don't plan, if you don't budget, if you don't do the first four things we talked about, it's your own darn fault.
So with that, we'll see you in the next
We'll see you in the next video, guys.